Dad McRadio on ELFM.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon? Yeah, it's not evening this time, is it?
It's not evening. It was evening last time, but it's afternoon today.
Feel like evening.
You always feel like evening.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm not going to lie.
Welcome to the Blind McRadio podcast, Volume 3. Back again.
Yeah.
And we're joined by Crosscut Saw this month.
Woo.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Because last month we left this till like 2 hours into the show to introduce people's names.
Professional as always.
Yeah.
That does demand that we know who you are. My name's Alex, and I'm the lead singer.
Anything else?
I play guitar and a bit of harmonica.
You like long walks on the beach and drinking pina coladas?
Yeah, who doesn't?
I'm not big on pina coladas.
Oh,
Peanut coladas. Is
peanut coladas?
Is that what you said?
Pina colada. You know,
pina coladas.
pineapple, coconut.
Yeah.
Mix it all
Pina
together.
coladas, is that a real thing? Anyway.
Oh, it's going to be a long podcast is this.
And see, we've got Reese's cups on our snack tray, so I've got peanut butter on the brain. Sorry. A bit off topic, yeah.
Who are you, Jim?
I'm Jim, oddly enough. Bass guitar and occasional vocal. Well, loosely described as vocals. He's down in the mix.
Just putting the mic on.
Vocals down in the mix, yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I'm Paddy, and I'm playing the misery whistle.
Misery whistle, that's a good term for it. I've not heard that one before.
Mississippi sax.
Gob iron.
God, iron's a good one. It's any other hot harmonic.
Tin sandwich, is it?
Oh, fantastic.
If there's any layman's listening, we're talking about harmonicas here. These are technical terms for them, aren't they?
Very technical, yeah.
Yeah. We're missing our Steve
Drummers,
Lehman
as
Nixon.
always.
Drummers, no drummers on this podcast.
No Richard.
No drummers.
No Richard Ferdinando.
Something they're plotting against us, just drummers in general.
Just lazy.
Yeah, they're always one step behind.
Not even real musicians, are they?
Just like hang out with us.
That must have been. Doesn't mean we can take the Mickey out of the most out
Angry
here.
faces,
Angry reaction.
He's in his van now, he's driving.
How dare
90.
you? Anyway, should we have a song? If I was
Why not?
This is a song which I believe you wrote about cake.
Yeah.
Is it right?
My latest birthday.
It's a good song called
Yeah.
Old. And you're a very old man. Cake. This is the newest recording, isn't it?
Newest recording, yeah. Well, yeah. It's on the internet, but as yet unreleased in any sort of physical format. But that's coming soon. With I think an EP for. We're aiming to get out for Maryport Blues Festival.
Ooh, when's Maryport? That's
July. Last weekend in July. Yeah.
Very good.
Have you done Maryport before?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the videos we're watching.
Paddy did it in.
I've done it before. Yeah. I've done it a few
I've done it
times.
before.
Yeah.
I think we did it with Crosscut Saw some years ago. But
I think it was with
maybe we
Richard.
just did gigs there. I can't remember if it was a festival or not.
We did it last year, didn't we?
Mm.
And it was good.
It's pretty lively, isn't it?
Yeah.
To say the least.
Interesting crowd.
Yeah, it's good. A good trip.
Oh, in fact, if I remember rightly, it had the is it the Maritime Museum down at the bottom of
Okay,
the?
yeah.
It's supposed. We never went whilst we were down there, but I got recommended by a friend that it's probably one of the best things to do in Maryport. Yeah. when the festival's not on, of course. Of
course.
Yeah, shall we get on with the old video?
Tune, yeah. So it's a slideshow video.
It is. Yeah, we haven't really got round to doing a video yet. We have recorded a last week. We did a live recording, so hopefully some of that will be, assuming it passes the censors.
Editable.
Approval, yeah. And then some of that will be out and about soon, and you'll be able to see us as well as just
Your beautiful voices.
yes.
We are going to have some live footage later on in the show, so people
right.
who haven't seen these in action before, they can
Yeah.
see some pictures now to get a bit of, oh, this looks
Yeah,
interesting.
that's it.
And then later on, like, they move as well.
Moving pictures, who'd have thought?
It's like a night at the talkies. Afternoon at the talkies. Anyway, yes, we have the video. This is Old by Crosscut Saw.
Who else?
Sometimes I feel like I've been old, an old man all of my life. Each time I try to pay one time and say, too late, next month's already overdue. If you'd have asked me, just running past me, I might have even helped you fly. If you'd have asked me, just running past me, you wouldn't have had to bleed me dry. Why didn't you tell me when you lent me the money you would own me and my children for the rest of our lives? Sometimes I feel like giving you all I own, but you say not enough money or so will do. If you'd have asked me, just running past me, I might have even helped you fly. If you'd have asked me, just running past me, you wouldn't have had to bleed me, bleed me, bleed me, bleed me, bleed me dry. If you'd have asked me, just running past me, I might have even helped you fly. If you'd have asked me, just running past me, you wouldn't have had to bleed me, bleed me, bleed me, bleed me, bleed me dry.
There you have it. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
As slideshow goes, you know, it was a damn good slideshow.
As you were saying, it's nice that you have. Nice that we have
Nice link.
lots of good photos. People like coming and taking photos of you when you jump around like an idiot. So.
Most of the time, you don't even have to ask these people; they just turn up out of nowhere.
do it, yeah.
And they just think, "Wow, it's cheers."
It's amazing, really, isn't it?
There's some venues that are a bit like amateur photographer clubs, aren't there? But you show a split and there's like 5 people at the front, all kinds of snapping you.
Paparazzi.
Paparazzi, yeah.
Apt.
But it's good, it's great because then you get stuff like that and it makes you look like a cool person.
Yeah.
It's been taken a picture of with it. You're a very photogenic bunch.
Thank you.
Even Rich, so surprisingly, Jesus himself.
He's going to come storming through there, isn't he?
Just trying to entice him to come. You know?
Wasn't to come.
But now,
Barreling
may
down
well do.
Skipton Road A43.
In his
If these
automatic.
drummers have got something against us, then we're going to have something against the drummers.
Yeah.
Not when I show up, the least we can do is insult them.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Try and
They're
encourage
not here
them.
to defend themselves.
That's what we do to do with people, aren't they? To defend themselves.
Dear.
What can you tell us about the song, Old? Is it an old song?
It is quite an old song, yeah. We wrote it, it's probably 10 years ago, I think. We wrote it in the back room of the Jug and Barrel in Stanley.
Wow.
Never knew that.
If I remember rightly. And the main riff is lifted from a what is it? It's a Charlie Patton song or something. I learned. And that was a turnaround in the Charlie Patton song. I was like, that's awesome. I'm just going to steal that. And it probably wasn't even, it was from a tab of a Charlie Patton song that I learned once. It's the only thing I've learned how to play. So I had to use it. And yeah, it's just
It's a good
self-explanatory song.
it's a good method for writing songs. Stealing riffs, like
Yeah.
so. People don't know that we've been big fans of Crosscut so for many a year now, since before Blind Image even started.
Yeah, unbeknownst
I
to us.
remember you sitting in the Grove watching us.
Yeah, I was probably a younger man than I was now.
More hair up here than you did down there for a change.
Maybe slightly shorter. But yeah, I remember seeing you guys and being like, "I would do that." But the first song that I wrote that I was happy to play in front of anybody else was Broken Alarm Clock Blues, and the riff from that. The riff from that was a
Something
complete
along
rip
those
off
lines.
of the Swamp Thing riff, which is across guitar. So I was trying to figure out the Swamp Thing riff, and then I kind of came up with something that's just very similar.
And that,
It's
the
different
Swamp
enough.
Thing riff is nicked off of, well, you name it. There's thousands of people who've done that. But yeah, it was, I can't even remember now.
Recycle it in our own ways. That's all we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what us proper musicians do anyway.
Do you think that's a more common thing in blues music than in other genres of music?
No, I think it's just music. There's only 12 notes in there. That's the old cliche. You never really sort of create anything new. You just put a load of things together, and that becomes a new thing, I guess. Or that's what you hope, is that it sounds like something that hasn't been made before. Because otherwise, why would people be interested?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a bit careful, because otherwise you think you're really original and great. You realise you're just a pastiche of all the people that you really like.
And it's the thing as well, people don't want things that are like unlike anything else they've ever heard, do they? It wants to be familiar, but different enough
Yeah, that's
to
it.
be interesting.
Yeah.
But if it's just like when you first hear Trout Mask Replica or something like that, you're like, what the hell is this? Music?
No, it's not many people have kind of replicated that style.
That is true.
Trout Mask Replica.
Trout
Big attribute. Name.
So for the
Mask
taking that, isn't it?
replicated.
It's like Creedence Clearwater Revival. Brilliant.
Yeah. Have you got new stuff on the go at the minute?
Yeah, well, we've been locking ourselves in the studio for hours at a time, and
Not getting much done.
minutes at a time. Yeah, and we're being quite productive, aren't we? It's just
it's
getting
coming.
everyone in the same room is
Yeah.
always a challenge. But we've got 4 tunes now that are going to be on the new release, and another couple in the pipeline so far.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to get an album out this year.
Yeah, and,
Well,
Hoping to.
and see what we get out of the live album as well.
Of course,
the
yeah.
live recording.
Live recording, yeah, and we're also planning on, when we get it together, regularly recording our Saturday nights at the Duck and Drake. So hoping to try and get some material out of that, because one of the things that we found with Crosscut Saw is that it takes on an extra dimension when there's a room full of people. That I think that happens with all music, but you getting the feedback from the audience is what makes it.
Gives that extra kind of.
Yeah, it
lift,
turns
that
it into
extra
something
buzz.
else. And it is, going to play a gig is very much more for me. I think it's a two-way thing. You don't just go and do your thing and everybody sort of sits there and consumes it. Everybody has to contribute, and everybody's contribution makes it a great thing, a great event, or not.
Yeah, we've discussed this before, haven't we? Like there's like a feedback loop being in the crowd, and so we talked about it before, and like the idea that, you know, on stage it's like almost like a provocation to some extent, and so you're doing whatever you're going to do on stage, and that's aiming to provoke some kind of reaction in the crowd, like, oh, that was good, yeah, and that kind of boosts you a little bit more, and then it kind of rises and rises, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just get nothing back at all, which we've kind of just managed to bypass that and just end up having to, you know, either slightly taking the mickey out of the people who are there, if you know, if they're just not interested, or it
becomes a different thing, doesn't it? It's, the gig can be like this, and I think it gets more exciting when the crowd is raising like that, because then it pushes you into different areas. Whereas if you're just playing to like non-responsive, like when you practice, you're generally just doing the stuff that you know, because you've not got a new.
Yeah, and it could be quite a small number. I've played some great gigs to like 2 or 3 people. The back room of the Grove, for instance, that was probably when you first saw us. There was probably 2 people. Yeah.
I remember being busy.
Yeah.
From
time to time, but yeah, you know, you always play those gigs where there's hardly anyone. They crop up, don't they? And it's hard getting people out to see live music, and especially when Eurovision's on.
This was just mentioned in the filming last week. So me and Kate went across. We had a great night.
Yeah,
lots of fun.
Yeah.
But it's such a. So we were saying as well, like if we were asked to be guests on a similar show to this, we wouldn't have any new videos of us, because it's such a big job getting good quality videos. Because you want to get loads of like phone footage from gigs and stuff, don't you? Where it's just really crackly audio and like a little bit of footage, but to actually get a decent music video done.
Phone camera.
And then it's all the setting up and stuff. Remember we did some videos at Smokestack years ago where you helped us with, didn't you? And it's such a big job getting the cameras. If you want to have multiple camera angles and you want to get the good audio.
Certainly at Smokestack with 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah, that was the best choice.
That was a journey.
Bad choice of venue.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about the gig? And then it's that same thing as well. And it doesn't feel as natural a performance a lot of the time, does it? Because you're aware that there's cameras.
All sorts of pressure that you put on yourself because you've gone to all that trouble and spent all day setting it up and trying to arrange people to be there, and it's a really challenging thing to do. It's one of the reasons why I'd like to sort of get I'm keen to get a live recording set up that we can take with us, is because if we just get into the habit of it and it becomes a normal thing, then maybe the capture of those really special moments will, when the crowd is kicking off and you're having an amazing time, everybody in the room's having an amazing time, and then we can record that and take it home and realise that we weren't that good at that point after all.
Well, they seem to think so.
We were just high on adoration.
How do you find, after a show, how clear is your memory of the show? That's what I find after a really good show. I think back at that, what did we actually do in that show? It was really
the last 2 hours just
did we play that song?
When it's really good, you don't remember hardly anything, do you? You just have a kind of feeling about it.
I think it's that thing we've mentioned on the show before. I think like the whole flow status thing, you just get into, like when you're driving, I suppose, sometimes you just get into that mode and then you think, how the hell did I actually get here? And you just,
Yeah, something we talked about a bit before, and when we talked about a great deal about this, the experience of what it's like on stage being in a really good gig, and how you kind of lose track of time and don't remember things very clearly. And we talked about the your danger impulses that are doing things on stage that beforehand.
Trigger it.
And it's that element to it, but the jumping on things and jumping off stages and stuff like that. And before the gig, not going to do that. That would be silly. Yeah. And then during the gig, you're like, afterwards,
that table looks much more solid now.
Climbing on tables. Yeah, after the gig, it's like, why did I do that? That was very dangerous.
We went to Cars Corner last night, and there was a time a couple of years ago, probably at Cars Corner, where I stood on one of the biggest tables I've ever seen, and it lifted up at one end. So I was like
surfing on the table.
it was like surfing on 2 legs of the table. It was quite incredible. Pints on it were sliding towards me.
And you didn't fall?
I managed to, not spill any beer or anything.
You're a skilled skateboarder, aren't you? So you've
that is,
prepared for those occasions.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you need to start doing, Ben.
Starting
top up on
skateboarding.
your balance a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy a skate, maybe even a set of roller skates for
I'm
your
terrible
birthday.
at skateboarding. You see me at the studio on your one.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend skateboarding on stage.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Half pipe in the back.
One of the times we were at Cass Corner, Cass Corner's a great venue in Doncaster we play at, and me and Kate both went out, and I was on one table over here, and Kate was on a table over here, and we seem to have got in that new wooden, it's like a barrel run thing.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's just like a little wooden frame with two lengths across it. And Kate got up on there, kind of waddling down.
This thing was moving. it had the basic structure there, but it had no cross beams or anything. So it was it's a bit.
I think it's just
hairy.
a relic of the renovating process, isn't it? As far as I can tell.
Yeah, I thought you were done for then. I thought you were going to die. I'm going to have to get a new bass player. That's what I was thinking.
It's held out. It's all good. So it's that those odd bits of yoga I've been doing.
Odd bits of yoga.
Yeah.
How long has Crosscut Star been going?
I think it's over 20 years now. So Richard and I have been doing it for 22 years.
That's a long time.
I think.
Jesus.
And how long have you been with us, Jim?
Ooh, 7 years.
Is it really that long now?
I think so. It feels like longer.
You're the new boy. Oh, Paddy's really the new boy. It's
boy.
like 2 years, is it?
Year and a half.
A year and a half.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, even that's
flown.
He's still notching on the. He's doing scrape
trying to
marks
whip
on the wall of his cell. Like there's some sort of end to it. He doesn't really.
We were going to do that with our tattoos, of get the little notches for each year the band's been going.
How long have you guys been going?
9 years now.
Pushing 9, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's 9 this summer.
That's good.
All right, we're getting there. We're catching up.
Depends which way you're looking at, Jim, really.
I think we've got this manageable.
Well, that's it. You spend quite a lot of time when you first start the band not being very good. Then
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
like, that's the nature of the beast. I think you've got to go out and do your, what they say, 10,000 hours or something. It is.
Yep.
Then you'd get good at something.
Yeah.
So soon.
Yeah. We'll all be great.
And with stuff like that, do you think the 10,000 hours thing about is that 10,000 hours practicing for each element of it, like 10,000 hours on the guitar, 10,000 hours on singing, and 10,000 hours on
just
doing
being
both
on
together and
stage.
being on stage.
Yeah.
Just the whole.
It's just.
I think
whole thing.
10,000 hours. It's just a random number, isn't it? Really.
I thought it was scientific.
Yeah, 'cause it must fluctuate. You know, people have got different speeds of picking things up, so you would have thought
About
maybe,
the
maybe-
quality of your practice time.
Yes,
Very true.
that's it.
Very true.
You can spend a lot of time faffing about.
That's right.
Noodling.
We're experts in faffing.
Yeah. We decided the other day, well, I think we decided quite a while ago that our band practice is more of a social occasion than anything else. We do very little actual practice.
It's just we actually need to book time and spend money on booking time just to see each other. Really.
Like to hang out. Jam
We don't
with.
really do rehearsals anymore. Do we? We,
well,
did
I think-
we do a couple each time. There's a.
I had to request
Line up
one, I
to
think, when I
join.
first joined, and remember Jim said, well done for getting that together, because we haven't rehearsed since I joined.
Yeah, which was 7 years ago.
Yeah. So
No, we probably.
Did you fill out all the appropriate forms?
I filled out the forms, everything seemed to go
That's
right.
about it. And then it's like, right, we've got a gig. I don't know the stuff, but we've got a gig, you better learn it.
You did have to just man up and do it, didn't you?
Thrown in at the deep end.
It was like the hop in Wakefield.
It was the Hop at Wakefield,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a good
Another fine venue.
Kicked off.
But they don't
Good.
have blues bands on anymore, though, so... Well,
I've not been there for a long time.
it's more covers bands now.
Is it? Yeah, Hopping Leeds, you see you guys play that quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Bit echoey. Very difficult one for sound.
Very strange shaped room.
You guys played our album launch there in 2012, didn't you?
We did. Yeah.
We were very ambitious young men at the time. Yeah, we had you guys, the Revelator band.
Yeah.
Doing
Chris
it for
Martin.
free!
And then us at the end, which I think was at the time we were like, we should have probably gone first.
It was a good night.
It was a good too, wasn't it?
I think I got some photographs from that
Yeah.
on
Christ.
my iPhone. Not very good. From like the side and stuff. So I'll send them over if I can find them.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
How did you find stepping into Crosscut Star, Paddy?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I kind of already knew the band anyway and knew their sort of vibe, so it wasn't really like a big baptism of fire or anything, because I'd seen them countless times. And they were friends as well, which helps. So it was fine.
They were, being the key word there.
Yeah, we were friends.
Yeah.
Now we are colleagues. That is all.
That's so serious.
And it wasn't like a million miles away from stuff that I'd done in the past, so it wasn't a huge shift. So yeah, it was good. It was neat. You know, it was
It seemed like the natural thing to do, didn't it? Because TJ, who's our previous harmonica player, moved to America to make his fortune.
Yeah.
Seems to be going well. In fact, he's coming back for Colne, isn't he? So we'll see him then.
Yeah.
That'd be
Catch up.
nice. Yeah, looking forward to that. And around about the same time, you'd decided to stop doing Poor Boy, hadn't you?
yeah, around about the same time, yeah. So it just sort of fell in, really.
It just seemed to make sense.
Yeah.
You had a period where it was just a trio again, didn't you?
Yeah, for a bit, yeah.
It was quite amusing.
I like doing the trio gigs. I think they're good fun, but they're hard work. You have to think quite a lot.
Yeah.
Which I'm not good at.
Hopefully that stops you thinking then.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Turn everything.
We've never had any band changes, have we? It'd be
We've had the odd person.
we had a
step in.
guest, but for a very short period of time. So
Yeah.
it's interesting because that's the band dynamic is such a big part of it, isn't it?
We did. We had the little project. Was it Big Steve and the Big Steve 3 for a while?
We were the Big Steve 3 for one gig only.
Was it? I remember having at least a couple of practices, or was it?
We had 1 or 2 practices.
Yeah.
This was a friend of ours, Big Steve, was a singer, and so we insisted on getting him to come and do a. But he barely do gigs anymore. We used to do open mics when we first met him, and then we insisted that he comes and sings at a gig, and we'd be his band, and it'd be Big Steve and the Big Steve 3. And it was good. We did a good gig with him, didn't we?
Was that Elvis covers, was it? Pretty much.
Mainly Elvis covers, yeah. I think we did Johnny Cash one or 2 as well.
All right.
Well, I mean, you're used to being a backing band, of course.
It's quite nice.
Jones,
It's quite nice to have a frontman that actually showed up. I didn't think he was going to show up, Big Steve. I thought it was just going to be the Big Steve 3 minus Big Steve. It sounds ridiculous, but then the Blind Emma Jones band minus Blind Emma Jones is perfectly reasonable now.
Yeah, that's going to make sense.
Commonly accepted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Should we have another tune?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've selected a couple of songs, but we haven't decided which order we're going to play them in, so which one do you fancy?
Shall we
next?
do Shake 'Em On Down?
Shake 'Em
Because
On
we
Down.
talked about skateboarding. There
We
it is.
did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Quick.
Vintage.
it's on the ball.
It's on the ball. Almost as soon as I say.
One of a Jaffa cake.
We've got some dark chocolate Jaffa cakes on the menu as well.
Thank you very much.
This, I'll just say, I was encouraged to say at the end of the filming, shake 'em on down into the camera. I regret that. My whole life. If they just stop the video just before the end. That would be.
I really want to see this now.
Yeah, 100%.
This is featuring TJ, isn't it?
This is this is with TJ. This is an old tune. In fact, we do old and this one. Squished them into each other. So.
Seamless transition.
Seamless.
Just like the show.
Yeah, always the same.
Yes,
Rehearsed.
that makes it.
Right, yes, this is Crosscut, so shake 'em on down.
Miles, don't see me around. I'll be somewhere. Shake 'em on down.
'em on down.
Shake 'em on down.
Shake 'em on down,
That was a very nice way of saying shake 'em on down to the camera at the end.
Thank you. Yeah.
It wasn't. I thought it was going to be a real close-up of you doing it in a real dramatic.
Almost subtle.
Well, you know how when you do things that you're embarrassed by and they feel like that, regardless of how other people perceive them. That's how.
I think a double point would have been appropriate.
Yeah.
Off your cap.
How was that doing that whole video? Because I'm assuming you were miming.
Yeah, it was awful. Well, I mean, it was fine. We didn't have much time. Also, on there, I should mention my son Isaac is
Much younger.
yeah, much younger, featured, and we took the day out, drove to Hebden Bridge, and Jason Elliott filmed it and edited it together for us.
Jason Elliott, who's running the Colne Blues Festival.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, used to do the Hebden Bridge Blues Festival. So yeah, he did that for us, and it's great.
It's a cool video.
Yeah.
Was there any serious accidents during that day?
No. I think we managed to get away with.
Well, the combination of guitars and skateboards and, at high speeds might have been quite
I
dangerous.
didn't break the guitar or anything.
Very good.
Yeah. No, it was quite tame skateboarding. For that reason.
Well, yeah.
You and TJ were pretty good at skateboarding, though.
Not bad, yeah. Used to
Adequate.
Be better.
It used to be better.
When I was young, I could have been a pro.
Yeah, the idea of miming video. I think Springsteen sings all his videos live now. He insists
does he?
on, because he hates the ones that he was made to mime when he was younger. So
Yeah, I feel a bit like that as well.
So I was thinking with that, like knowing you as well today, I thought like you probably would have felt uncomfortable miming it, but like it looks cool, and that's the kind of thing is what when people always say to you, like filmmakers or something, say like just me, it looks good. And,
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
But look, that video's good. I like it.
It's alright, yeah.
It's the way that you perceive yourself in the video as well. It's just like, I'm not putting any effort into that whatsoever, looking at it. But then obviously singing it, you're bellowing out or whatever thing. And if you're like shouting away and you're just thinking... for those who were just listening and not watching, I said I pretty much mimed Shake 'Em On Down without any voice.
As a mime would be.
As a mime would be, yes.
It wouldn't be a mime if you used your voice for it.
Yeah, one of my favourite videos, which we'll play in a bit, but that one's a gig that was filmed, but then we put it to studio recording. So editing that performance and the energy of the performance into the recording worked well for me. I feel less embarrassed about that than miming, because I was actually singing at the time. Even though it didn't really match up.
It's amazing how acute you can be to those things. Well, like when someone is, even if someone's really close miming it, you can spot it generally, can't you?
And I mean, with the video, it's fraught with danger of things going out of sync anyway, isn't it? Just as the technical guys here will know, World of Pain.
World of Pain.
World of Pain video and synchronising things. And an out of sync video. There's an amazing Muddy Waters performance of Mojo working
with James Cotton
on the internet, and it's a bit out of sync.
Yeah.
And it's one of the finest pieces of music film ever, but it's completely spoiled.
I don't know, I can live with that, I think. It's
yeah.
It is
I think the original isn't. It's just something to do with what they've done with the internet.
It's all that high-speed internet now. It's just too fast for them old songs.
That's it. So the light travels faster than sound, doesn't
Exactly.
it?
And it's,
Must be that.
The internet in them days was a lot slower.
Yeah.
It was in black and white then.
All
Exactly,
on paper.
Analog.
Analog internet. Yeah.
None of this fibre speed nonsense.
No, digital.
High tech world we're living in, eh?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you then about. I forgot what it was now.
No.
It wasn't about that.
No.
It was about remembering something. It was about songs.
About songs.
I was going to ask you something about songs. Do you know what the question was?
No.
I was going to ask you.
I minded to talk about analog recording because we do that rather than digital recording. We like to record on tape, like the old days before the internet. So that's fun.
Yeah, you've got. Alex has also recorded our Blind Jones albums.
Certainly has.
So, yeah.
At Factory Street Studios.
Yeah.
Where you're well set up with the analog gear.
Yeah, we've got some nice tape machines. And
I think we got a good
mixers
deal
and
on
stuff.
that. I think we might have duped you. Like when we first started recording, we got the £200 deal that you were doing for one day, and I think it was just pretty much for one day. And then we kind of says, but we were expecting the rest of the album for £200 a day. Alex, cheers, mate. we owe you for
But
that.
it's all right because the normal day rate's only 25 quid.
He told us we were getting a bargain. We believed him.
It's all about sales.
Yeah.
No, but that's one of the things that we talk about with performance is that we like to kind of play and capture what's going on as opposed to piece things together from little bits. So that's why we try and do it that way, and tape works perfectly for that. And suits our atmosphere, I think.
It's the same thing with, like I was saying about gigs, when you feedback off the crowd, you feedback off each other as well. Like when you try and record an album, we've always done ours live as well, haven't we? It's like, it feels weird playing part of a song that you used to play with the band to a recording. It just feels very unnatural.
Horrible thing of trying to play along to some sort of click track or something.
Awful.
Yeah. I love trying to play along with Stevens. The best of times, but with a click track, nah.
Yeah, I've never really got on with click tracks.
No, horrible. And of course, there's the commitment factor as well with tape, because tape's so expensive. Its hard drive space is very cheap, so you can do as many takes as you like of a song and keep them and go, oh, well, that was really good, but maybe we'll get it better, and record another 20 of them, and then have to try and decide between your 20 takes. But when you've got tape, because it's so expensive, you have to re-record over the thing that you've just done. So you play the song and go, how was that? Was it good? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we can do it better. Maybe we can't. Oh, well, if you can, let's press the button. Press record, and you've got to get it better. And I think that adds to another thing as well. You've got to commit to it.
Extra risk factor.
That's it.
Believe in what you're doing.
Do you do overdubs on tape as well?
Yeah.
You do like a little bit at a time.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way we tend to record is we all set up in the room and set up as if so that we can, if we happen to perform everything wonderfully, then that's our recording. So we've got the vocals and the harmonica and the guitar and the bass and so on. But in practice, it works out more often that we'll stop once we're happy with the bass and drums fitting in together and the feel being right, and then we can put the other stuff on. We can re-record the guitars and so on, usually. But there's a bit of bleed, so you have to be judicious about it. If you get anything too wrong, then you've got a ghost of a cock up in the background. A ghost of a cock up. It's a good name for the album. Yeah. A ghost of a cock up.
Should be a new hashtag.
Yeah. So that's the, and then we'll use that multi-track tape and record all the bits on it. So, and then play that multi-track tape back through the mixing desk and record it onto a stereo tape. And then once we've done that, that's your mix. And then at that point you play the tape into the digital world through other good stuff and make it sound good. And what we've been doing is that capture into the computer that's the master. That's it. That's what you'll hear. So we're not manipulating it with digital stuff.
Are you guys follow? You guys
No.
techie stuff? You guys know this stuff? Yeah.
No, I just
I think you're fine.
play the 4 strings and that's it.
Yeah, I understand some of it, but I still struggle to get my head around lots of the tech gear. I've got a new dictaphone. I can work that.
Yeah.
Press record on that.
Yeah.
Stop. Skip track. But there's the tape stuff. Do you actually have to physically cut bits. Have I seen you doing that before?
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing, but not so much with Crosscut Soul, because we play fairly simple music, but
That's not true.
But fairly linear music. We tend to try and capture something and then that's it, so we're happy with it. But you can do things like chop the end of one song onto the beginning of another. I did a project recently, a band called Ultrasound, where there was a 20-minute song and we made that up out of 5 or 6 sections that we then literally cut the tape and stuck that together, and then we'd record some more stuff over that, so guitars and so on, and then we'd need to chop a section out and stick that together and then record some more stuff and chop, so there was loads of, as it ran across the tape machine, these bits of sticky tape holding the whole thing together. And then we had to do that again with the mixes and the masters and everything, because a 21-minute song doesn't fit on a 15-minute reel of tape, so...
That's really interesting.
So then we had to take 2 tapes to London to the people with the record lathe and stick them together when we were in London, put them on their big reel that can do a half-hour tape.
Wow.
And when you're cutting them and sticking them, how do you know where the right place
I was just
in the
thinking
music
that.
is? Is
In
it?
fact, with the film, obviously, you get like your different
You get your pictures, yeah. No, you sound. So you move the reels of the tape by hand, and you can identify a snare drum hit, for instance, slowing down.
Oh, between 2 reels. Oh,
Yeah, so you
reel
got
runs
the tape.
between 2 frames.
Yeah, you got the 2 reels with the tape going across the head, so you know where you're hearing, and then the noise, as it gets slower and slower, it gets deeper and sort of more. But you can kind of wiggle it about, find the point where the noise just starts, and that's where you chop it, and then you find the other point where the noise just starts and chop there, and then you stick them together, and it's perfect.
It sounds quite nice and crafty, doesn't it? You know, I like doing crafty things.
Really hands-on.
Get your pattern scissors out and start making pretty patterns with the tape.
Sit on the floor with a load of tapes and just cut
When you
stick.
first do it and you're trying to learn how to do it, it's terrifying. But once you get into it,
I'm going to say, have you ever got it wrong?
There is a bit of tape that's about this long. It's chopped into about 15 different bits and stuck back together.
Yeah.
Those were the bits, so it's chopped it. Oh, that's wrong, stick it back together. And eventually got the right place.
Right.
And how come the sellotape doesn't affect the sound?
Because it's clear.
That's how the
No,
sound...
he's blue tape.
Ah,
Blue
right.
tape. Sounds smoothier. No, but it's on the back.
Ah.
So you stick the back you cut the tape at an angle, put the 2 pieces face down, stick the tape over it and trim it off, so it just goes over the magnetic bit is on the front. So.
Really interesting. I was just thinking how funny this is as well, how difficult it is for us to get our head around the old technology. Whereas like when people would use tape all the time, the idea of someone trying to explain to them digital recording, to have been like, what? I've got a computer that records everything.
Yeah, what you mean you could just move that one?
I don't need the scissors at all.
One of the songs we've recorded has got just the very first bar of guitar. I'm just not happy with it. So I'm going to have to set up the amp and try and get the same sound again to re-record just the first bar. Whereas if we were doing it in the computer, just like move it.
That's it.
That's it.
2
Job's done.
seconds.
2 seconds, but
Yeah.
it's a couple of hours work.
Okay, I suppose with analog as well, you
Yeah.
can't really replicate or copy. as
No, well,
such.
you can. Yeah, you sort of can to itself, but you can't make a backup
No.
easily without 2 machines.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the quality degrades every time
re-record it.
you record. So if you do lots of copies, then the quality gets worse and worse. So you're always thinking about how you can minimise that side of
Wastage,
things, the degradation and all of that. Whereas obviously digital copies are infinitely copyable at no cost, which is one of the reasons why the music industry is in the States. It is because as soon as you can Control C and Control V something, then the laws of capitalism and economics go out the window, don't they? Because what's been the production cost of making 10 as opposed to making 1 is the same, and so how can you justify charging the same amount of money
As you used to.
if you sell 1 million of them compared to selling 10 of them. But you do, and yet there's no manufacturing costs, so it's all built on a kind of
Greed.
well, yeah. Well, it's like a concept of there's what's it called? Intellectual property, which I'm fully in favour of being rewarded for intellectual property, but it's difficult to administer. It's difficult to value, and how do you? And that's like a wider problem in the whole world as well, because all sorts of things like it's like your iPhones and Apple make gazillions out of this and don't pay tax, but but most of the technology in that was developed by the American taxpayer for the government, for the military, and yet they don't pay very much tax, and so the intellectual property of all the stuff in the iPhones belongs to the American people, and the people of the world, presumably, because it's probably not just American technology, and then like the internet, and yet we've got this massive company that won't pay tax
And give anything back.
Yeah.
Is that a similar kind of thing? Could you say that it's the same with music stuff? How like we take all the music developed by other people and put it, like we were saying about
Well,
taking,
in a way, I suppose it is.
like,
Yeah,
bits of technology that have been developed by a wider community, put together in a certain way by one.
Yeah, Muddy Waters deserves my royalties as much as I do. Yeah, I suppose there is an element of that, and that's why. Well, I think there's a massive problem with capitalism and the system being broken and value being based around money, and so how do we change it? That's a massive topic, but the impact of that is being felt everywhere, and no more so than in the music industry. There's now, it's almost there's too much music from so many bands that none of it has any value anymore, unless you happen to be extremely rich and you decide that this piece of music or this artist is worth a lot. Somebody like Ed Sheeran, you invest a load of money in them and then sell music all around the world, and he's very talented and all that, but there's loads of very talented people. So all of a sudden his music becomes valuable and everybody else's isn't, because the tastemakers have decided so, not because of any sort of qualitative judgment. Ed Sheeran's a bad example because he is good, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a subjective thing in terms of, isn't it, of like what we call good music, other people don't like as much, and
again, it comes back as well to the sort of digital recording and the analog recording. I'm getting a bit boring here, I know, but
I want a biscuit.
have a biscuit while I'm chuntering on. But that's also it's not that long ago that you wouldn't be allowed in a recording studio unless you had a lot of money, and so therefore you had to be really good, and now anyone can afford to go and record or make a vanity project record like me. That's your point. But it isn't that then becomes, surely that again the value of that is less, is it, or is it?
yeah, and because the same, and like we were talking about this before with like we were saying with getting videos of live performances and things like that, and recordings. That when we first started, the idea of getting a gig where you get it recorded or you might get some footage of you playing was like a huge deal.
Yeah.
And then,
my uncle's coming down. He's got
a camera,
video camera. With
we're gonna have a DVD.
Cassette comes out the side.
You're gonna stand at the front and we'll have a live DVD.
Yeah.
We'll have a huge deal.
VHS. VHS. Well, my first record band was like
stamped.
cassettes. Tapes, that's what we sold.
Yeah.
But now it's like loads of gigs you go to, the live streaming stuff, and like you were saying about recording the gigs at Duck and Jerk, it's so easy to do it now that most bands are just constantly do have live stuff, which kind of goes against what I was saying earlier about how difficult it is to do live videos. But then it's the organising side of it, so like playing here is a great example of that where everything's streamed live, that you get a really good, and because the sound quality's so good in here as well, and the cameras are really good quality. So everyone who plays here, then you do get a good quality live recording. But a lot of time you get a live stream from somewhere, and it's one person's phone, and so you get more quantity, but not the quality, really.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's still the case that great quality recordings, filming, music, but fundamentally what we're talking about is the creation of the music. I think still when it's great, and that's obviously the thing where its value lies. But how do you find it if you've got the internet in front of you and you can choose between one of 10 million songs to listen to at that particular moment? And how do you know which ones are the good ones and which ones aren't, without the people with loads of money who decide and put the money into it?
And I guess you need to find like trusted recommenders. So, not say people with
taste,
money,
what they're called.
So that's why like things,
arbiters of taste, or
people whose tastes you connect with in a way. So like I really like Huey Morgan's show on Six Music because I like a lot of the same music he likes. So I'm not listening to that. I'm like to find stuff if he likes it, there's a good chance it's in my kind of taste range as well. Yeah. Whereas other shows, I wouldn't listen to much.
No, well, that's where. Yeah, I think in the past you wouldn't get any exposure at all, though, would you? You wouldn't even just the fact that you had a piece of plastic that had your music on that you could listen to meant that somebody had invested a decent amount of money in what you did, and so therefore you were worth something. And talent scouts were up and down the country looking for people who were good enough to put in a studio and make a record and justify that sort of expense. Whereas now you don't even, nobody's interested unless you're
video, I suppose.
unless you're the only way to become a well-known band from a grassroots level is to work really hard at the promotion and the sales and all of that sort of thing. We're terrible at that.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I mean, you're a step ahead of us because you've managed to blag yourself a radio show, but
Well then.
That's all about. Sorry, we'll let you on the first Tuesday.
But it's I was thinking it's it's like an onion is what I'm thinking of here. There's there's the music thing in the middle of and we were saying how that's got so much bigger. Before it was a very narrow little circle in the middle of the onion of these people who were paid a lot of money to do this, and now that there's a bigger circle of people who can make them music, but then also the circle of who promotes it has got so much bigger with the internet. So many people have been doing shows and who have a voice to share stuff, so that there's more and more music being made, but more and more people sharing it as well. Like before, you have to use the radio or something with a few channels on. There's such a limited selection of what you could hear. Then anyway, and now there's like.
Well, you'd think that when we were starting out, then having the very idea that you could have your piece of music recorded and anybody in the world could listen to it really easily just by giving them a very small piece of information, a little address to follow, was an amazing idea. You'd be like, what? That's incredible. To get somebody in Japan to get in to like your band, you would have to post something there, But now it's just normal. And so you think that must be incredible. It must be incredible being here now, until you realise that none of it means anything because of the context of so much.
We're going to watch that Searching for Sugar Man tonight.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's a good film.
Because that's what his story is, something like that. He was famous in
South Africa.
You didn't know about it.
Not for years.
Yeah, that's it.
Bizarre.
It was like one of those
30 years or something, was it?
Yeah, it was a record that during apartheid was like really like a really important record for the South African revolutionary people. They were all like, this is our sort of freedom record, and this guy just had an unsuccessful recording career in California or whatever it was.
He just disappeared, didn't he? He became like a normal person.
Did
job, like a bit of a handyman. And all of a sudden, his royalty checks start coming through.
That's why I'm hoping it's happening to me right now.
The trouble is with the internet now is that you wouldn't not find out about it.
Oh, is it?
So it isn't.
Well, I've not been on the internet for half an hour or so.
We know what happens when you...
Even though we are on the internet now, but I'm
Yeah.
not looking at it. So
No, you-
if I'm famous in South Africa, or if you could
This
be,
is probably the turning point for all.
well, this is it, 'cause we've got a huge fan base in what country is it in, Cake?
Bolivia.
I haven't even checked.
Bolivia will do. So we've got a huge fan base in Bolivia, so
Cool.
they were very excited about Crosscut Soccer.
Excellent. Well, yeah.
So if you want to tour Bolivia, I'm sure they'll be very welcome there.
Would like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to travel.
Should we have another song?
Yeah.
Did
Talking of which, travelling. So we played at Beverley Blues Festival last year. That's really good.
Beautiful segue, that one.
When,
Yeah, that's so smooth. I can see why you're the front man.
Is that enough? Beverley.
One of the videos.
Yeah, one of the videos, Beverley.
Where's
Oh,
Beverley?
it's called,
Beverly's-
called Going
All the way
Down.
to Hull.
Oh, it's not
Even though it's not going down.
Keep going up the M62. You'll get there.
Yeah.
It's the first song we wrote.
Is it? Oh, it's really called On My Knees.
Yeah,
I remember it on the In Debt You Bet album.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
It's your last album, wasn't it?
That was our first and last album. Yeah. 2003.
Blimey.
Yeah, I know.
Do you remember when you wrote this song?
Yeah,
How long ago that was?
yeah, vividly. I was in our kitchen in Chapeltown, Savile Place, and yeah, just wrote it. just did it, mate.
Did you always do
Just
that?
wrote it.
How do you write songs? You just write them.
Just do it, don't you?
Get a pen, paper, get a guitar. Was this the first song you'd ever written, or had you written songs previously?
Yeah, that was the first song I'd ever written. Yeah, yeah.
Was it the first song you'd ever written, period, or was it the first song you'd ever written that you're happy to play in front of people? Because I
It's the
said,
first song I ever wrote.
Wasn't you
Ever, yeah.
I wrote loads of songs I didn't dare play in front of anybody.
No, I probably shouldn't have played this. Probably agree with me that it shouldn't. I should have
I really like this
shelved
song.
it. Oh,
I think it's a great song.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
well, what's wrong with this particular thing? I think
like
the
it.
sound is pretty bad, but it does have Paddy. So it's one of the few videos that we have Paddy in. So it's kind of up to date, and there's also a bit where I wander off into the crowd.
Yeah.
And they don't follow me. So it's not terribly eventful for that period of the song.
But this is an example of sort of talking about a video where you weren't set up to do it, it was just someone videoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is like a gig that's just in normal gig flow. rather
That's
than
right. Yeah.
Let's camera down
Yeah.
and get in the red light fever. Yeah. Right, so yeah, this is On My Knees.
Down my legs. Going down on my bed with me. Going down on my bed with me. Listen to me, baby. Have me back if you please. Gonna find a way to get myself together. Gonna find a way to get
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Were we
Talking about how to sync video.
Was it in sync at the start?
I think it was. Yeah, it gets progressively worse.
Yeah.
Was it just
A bit like one of our sets, really.
I think it just slipped. Yeah.
Because that was, I don't know who did that. I think it might have been some filmmaking students, Beverly College
yeah, that rings a
filmmaking
bell.
students or something.
Yeah.
And the guy who was doing the sound, I think, was also recording it. So maybe, I think, that's why, in a combination of sound from one place and video from the other.
It was cool. It was a good quality camera in there.
Yeah, nice.
Were you playing in black and white that day, or was
We
that
were, yeah.
afterwards?
Yeah, we do like to play in black and white.
Back in your younger days.
Yeah.
I think we tried it once, but it didn't work for us, did it?
No, we're not as good at the black and white thing.
We prefer the sepia tone.
Sepia's better.
I couldn't see it. Yeah.
There's any manner of filters you can get these days.
That's right.
Just on Instagram.
Instagrams. I don't know how to do the Instagrams.
What you do is you take a picture of your biscuit,
Turn
and
it
then you
purple.
make it black and white, and then you put it on the internet.
That's Instagram. And you put a hashtag with it. Hashtag this is my biscuit.
Yeah, they don't have to be hash cakes.
Hashtags. Hash brown. we were writing a song called hashtag hash brown. And it was because lots of people hashtag like to fight people, don't they? Like hashtag you're a Nazi.
Do they?
I think so. So I thought it'd be nice if people just put hashtag hash brown. That's what I heard. That they were like weapons. So like I think they were like throwing stars.
Yeah.
Hashtag bad person.
Yeah.
But I think hashtag hash browns are much nicer because I like hash brown.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag hash.
Hashtag hash. hashtag. Is music a big thing on Instagram? Do lots of because there's another thing with so many, as we're talking about, with different mediums for music, that
You're asking the wrong people.
I'm not sure.
we can't keep up with all the different.
We've tried Twitter numerous amounts of times, and I think
We have a Twitter page, but nobody does anything.
No,
Every year we put something up.
Do we?
Yeah.
No.
Because we
Well,
forget.
You're our resident
I'm so
technology
sick
and
of it.
internet
I hate
person.
it.
it was only because no one else would do it. I think that's probably
We'll,
why Ben does
we'll
it.
make amends and review our current.
Yeah, just
Social
get the
media.
gigs up to date or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's one thing I've noticed about this podcast. We tend to spur people on for getting things done in the band.
No, it's good.
Like the when we were talking to Paul Middleton, Ant's band, I think about a week after we went to a gig and we found out. Oh, sorry, on the show we were talking about their studio recordings. Sorry, and about a week afterwards they got in studio and started recording. And
Brilliant.
I felt like we had something to do with that.
The motivators.
Change it to the Mr. Motivator show.
Steve's just the motivator.
Hashtag motivation.
Blind Dead McJones podcast, hashtag.
That's what
Get your
people
ass in gear.
Get your ass in gear.
Yeah.
Hashtag get some stuff done.
Sort of shit out.
Get to work. That's what people do on Instagram, isn't it? They put like inspirational quotes.
Is that right?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
This is what I believe goes on in these circles. It feels like it's like we're talking about some kind of dark cult or something. A
Hashtag
massive
believe
social
in
media
life
thing.
or something, yeah.
I don't know. I went on it about 7 years ago and put some pictures up, and that's it.
Just left them there.
That's it. Nothing happened.
Turn into a nice ferment.
Put some nice filters on. I thought this was great.
Do you remember MySpace?
Yeah, we were big on MySpace.
Big on MySpace?
Well, I think we
had
still
some
are.
friends
If
on
you,
MySpace.
if you can find us on MySpace, we've got like 40,000 plays of our
Christ.
our music.
MySpace still even going?
That's a working title for the album as well, isn't it? Big on MySpace.
Big on MySpace. Big in Japan, but it means less.
You should put that on your posters, like, over 40,000 plays on MySpace. Who would not want to go and see a band that plays on MySpace? Have you heard of the Hype Machine? This is another one of these music promotion device things.
Nope.
Is the whole hype thing you've been like tonight's hype, or is this just?
No, I just
purely
like the word
coincidental?
hype. I like tonight hype.
Hashtag hype.
Hashtag hype. But there's a website called Hype Machine. Me and Steve went to like some music conference type thing one time, and there's somebody there who was filming us in all the places to be to promote your music.
Insiders.
And so obviously I wrote them down, and I went home and I looked on them, and then I think I set a page on some of them, and then I've never looked back at them. But,
Just forgot about them.
And I don't know if these are still that was a big one at the time that said like, you know, this is where music
MySpace.
shares. No, Hype Machine.
Hype machine.
But then I've not heard of it since.
How long ago was that?
2 or 3 years. Maybe?
Yeah, it's probably
Probably
failed
failed.
then.
It's amazing that Facebook's lasted. as
What
well.
about Tumblr? Did you ever go down
Oh, is
that
the
route?
Tumblr still a thing?
I don't know, is it? I remember somebody talking about that. Bebo.
Bebo.
Tumblr's still around, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
The dark avenues of the internet.
We try and get into the dark avenues.
Yeah, we don't know about the internet.
Yeah.
We've got a Facebook
I think it's going to be
page.
big though, you know.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, but it's the
I
next
don't
big thing.
believe it.
Days.
I don't believe
I believe it
anyone.
when I see it. I've never seen the internet, have you?
No.
I've seen computers and stuff. I've never actually seen the internet. It's a hoax.
Who owns the internet?
Well,
Cake.
it was, the guy who invented it never actually patented it, because if he did, he could have obviously made.
Surely it was a
absolute
collective
trillions.
thing.
No, it was one
guy
guy.
was
Just
just
like
like
1974 or
internet.
something as early as that. It was
But he's
first introduced. But yeah, he never
He's a
patented
hero.
it because he wanted to share it with the world.
that was the point. Yeah. And in a way, well, all it is, isn't it? Is sorry to get boring and technical, but it's just a bunch of computers that might be your computer or it might be somebody else's. That
Think
stuff is
together.
on, and then you can just go and look at it
if you like.
if you like, if you let it. And that's all the internet is you letting other people look at your computer.
Have you seen Four Lions, the film? Yeah. They're going to blow up the internet.
Well, that's it. So, and this recent hoo-ha with the Tory manifesto, where they say they're going to make the internet a better place somehow. It's
Good
not
luck
possible.
with
Yeah.
that.
The internet already is a better place.
Depending which way you look at
the
it.
the internet's a neutral place, isn't it? It's the people who
Yeah.
use the internet.
Internets don't kill people.
People
Internet users kill people.
Yeah.
No.
Hashtag.
keep working on it.
Hashtag keep looking at it.
We'll do a blended Crosscut medley.
Yeah.
Jam band of songs about
Hashtag.
internet hashtags. That's a great idea. We should do a Blinded Jones and Crosscut album called hashtag
Hash brown.
by hashtag Blinded Jones and hashtag Crosscut hashtag album. Following on from the idea, like how much music there is, what music are you guys listening to at the minute? Has anything new come into your? Is there anything like? Is there any circles that you follow for? Where do you guys get new music from?
I don't know.
The Blinded
I
McRadio
find the Blinded McRadio show is obviously a good source, but I find it really difficult to actively find it. So you just happen across things and people recommend things. So the whole sort of Facebook thing, get quite a lot of stuff from, and then things that you know people that you already know about. You do other projects and you go off down that alleyway, don't you? But I don't think I'm not an authority. The most exciting music I hear is when people walk in the door and play it for me in my studio. That's what I really like. So I don't listen to a lot of music because I hear it all the time, but it's not in a bad way, not in a negative way, that I don't go and hunt out people to listen to it. It's like I really get my fill of people. There's nothing better than having somebody walk into your place and you set them up so they sound really good and then they play music for you. That's enough. I don't need to go and listen to records.
How about you guys? Are you doing anything that you've come across recently that you're particularly fond of?
Paddy?
Not especially off the top of my head.
I thought you meant you were listening to him and you just
Yeah,
fond
just
of
Paddy.
Paddy.
Cheers, James.
If it's recommendations for relatively recent records, then Dr. John, Lockdown.
Yeah,
is
that was
a
great.
record that everybody should hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a few years old now.
It is a few years old, yeah, but I'm not very up with the times.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Yeah, and Sean Costello's record before he died is another in the last 8 years or something. That's like another
We Can Get
great
Together, isn't
record.
it?
We Can Get Together.
Yeah, amazing album. Yeah, but yeah, both of them.
Those
that you put
are
on
those
to
are
me.
two records that completely
Passed on
bowled
to
me
me.
over in the last 10 years.
Yeah, they're both amazing albums, and it's that as well. Like, so part of it is how much time you get to find your music, but then part of it as well
That's
is
true.
how when there is an album like those two that really stick with you for that long. That's why you hear music all the time. And all the time it's like, this is good, but then it's rare there's albums that last that long. That a few years later you still like recommend to people. This is a great album.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah, records that you put on again and again and again.
never tire of.
And then, of course, there's lots of great records that you would do that for. You discover Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. You're like, I'll put that record on again and again and again and again, and then that's it. And that you're discovering new music.
Yeah, quite like Radio 6 as well. 'Cause
Yeah,
you get
that's
quite
right.
a nice diverse mix of new and old and obscure.
Yeah.
And, it kind of does the job for you. It brings it to your ears
Brings it.
rather than trawling through.
Just lazy.
I know.
It's a
I
problem
used
with
to
those
quite enjoy,
musicians, isn't it?
going to record shops and buying an LP because of the artwork, thinking,
that's very true.
this looks like it's going to sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds as good as it looks.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Yeah. I like that with charity shops for
Yeah.
looking at CDs and stuff and
That's right.
taking chances on stuff.
It's
And that
always
was
a special occasion because you always think, if I wasn't there at that moment in time, I probably wouldn't have got this album.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot more special for you. I
Which
find
that-
that with jeans and general shirts when I go to a charity. Like that first suit I got as well. The first pinstripe suit was it was a beautiful fit and it was £13. The suit was brand new. It was my first ever suit. I was chuffed.
Bargain.
we wrote a children's book one time called My First Suit. Well, I say we. It was Cake. And it's-
Did you write it for Cake?
I may have been a ghostwriter. My First Suit by Andrew Cake Johnson. It fell down in the outlet phase, didn't it?
Yeah.
Couldn't find an artist to do it for us.
The illustrations.
The illustrations, and they're such a big part of a children's book.
Important.
That's what we're there for.
There's a great
Short novella.
My youngest son is 3 at the just turned 3, and one of my great pleasures in life is reading him stories at night. And The Lion That Came to Tea. Does anyone know that?
Rings a bell, yeah.
Heard
Is
of
that
that.
right? I do not know. You should hunt it down and read it. And there's a great page in it where the lion's come to tea and he's eaten everything in the house, all the food, he's drunk the water out of the tap, he's drunk all Daddy's beer. I don't know if that's in it actually. It's just my own personal nightmare. But there's an amazing page in it where Dad gets home and there's a picture of him and he's sat in his armchair, just sort of staring into the middle distance, and Mum's there like this, and the daughter, who's the main character, is like, oh, the lion came and ate all. And they told Daddy what happened, and he's just got that 1,000 yards down. It's like, I've just got back from work, and you're telling me that there's no food in the house. And this lion came and drank all the water, and I can't even wash. And then the next page is like, but it's all right, because Dad has come up with this idea that they're going to go to a cafe and have egg and chips or whatever.
Cool.
Everything works out okay in
Logical
the end.
solution to the problem.
Spoiler alert.
Tiger that came to tea. It's not the lion that came to tea, it's the tiger that came to tea.
So what did they do with the tiger then? Did they just leave him there while they went to the cafe?
The tiger comes to tea,
Yeah.
eats all the food
Yeah.
and everything in the house.
Yeah.
Dad gets home, is on the verge of erupting.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like from, he's like, but he controls himself. They go to the cafe. Little girl in her nightie, and they go to the cafe and eat. And on the way to the cafe, there's actually a cat that looks like a tiger just in the background.
It's pretty complex work, isn't it?
It is. There's a lot of layers to it. Yeah.
Absolutely deep.
Yeah.
You've seen that episode of Black
Sorry.
Books where they're trying to write a children's
Yeah,
book.
I've seen that.
Black Books TV show. Anyway, it's that massive thing. It might be a little complex for the 4 to 6 year olds. It's 2,000 pages. It's very simple.
Good children's, but they have a great impact, though, don't they? I think.
And some of them are amazing stories. Have you heard There's No Such Thing as Dragons? There's No Such Thing as a Dragon, a children's story.
Not sure.
It's amazing. I would try and give you.
It's too complex.
It's a really amazing story. And if I started telling you it now, I wouldn't do it justice at all.
Well, one of my other favourites at the moment is The Lion in the Meadow, which is there's a lion in the meadow, so mum's like fed up with the kid. Lion in the meadow, lion in the meadow. Take this matchbox in there. There's a dragon. Let the dragon out in the meadow, and the lion will be chased away by the dragon, and everything will be fine. Next page. Lion and boy come running into the house and hide under the cupboard because there really was a lion in the matchbox. The dragon in the matchbox. It's genius. And then eventually they're like, well, we're just playing the meadow on the other side of the house. And the lion was like, you shouldn't have let the dragon out. I only eat apples.
You got to read into the morals of the stories. That
Very similar
stories can
though
be true.
throughout.
Even if they're stories, even if you didn't think they were true, they can be.
That's an interesting issue.
Fake news.
News.
As much as I'm really enjoying children's stories topics, I know there's lots of stuff I'd like
Oh,
to
no,
cover.
yeah, sorry.
I mean, there's lots of stuff that I want to talk about with it as well, but I want to hear some about in your album as well. I'm aware that time is of the essence.
Something about it.
Yes.
When are we releasing it?
When are we releasing it? Well, we're going to have at least an EP available for Maryport, aren't we? And then there's Colne.
The EP's pretty much there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just needs like topping and tailing.
So we're going to see where
that'll
we get
be
to.
first.
Because we've got a main stage gig at Colne, haven't we? Which
Yeah.
is going to be good.
That's the Blues Festival at the end of August. People don't know.
Biggest in the country, isn't it? So,
Celebration of the Blues Festival.
so it's very exciting. We're looking forward to that. There's loads of great people on that weekend as well. So that's going to be a good weekend. So we want something to be able for people to be able to take a bit of us home with them from yeah.
Small finger, maybe a limb.
So whether that's a full blown album or not, how many tracks do you think you need for an album?
I don't think it's tracks. I think it's more length, i.e. total. Like
Interesting point.
I got like for a pure example, that Dacha Mandela album I've got in the car we're listening to on the way here. I'd class that as an album. It's a very short album.
You did say to me in the car that it was an EP.
Did I?
Yeah, after I finished, you went, oh, it's a shame it's just an EP there.
Well, it doesn't say anywhere on it that it's an EP.
How many tracks on it is there?
There's 8 tracks on it.
Oh, you see, I think 8 is acceptable.
qualifies
That's an album.
How long is the album in its entirety?
We're looking at about 4.5 minutes per track at least.
Oh, that's definitely an album.
Yeah,
If it was,
I like a short album. I'm a fan.
yeah, I'm used to it. I used to always think more was
Better.
more, but better. But I'd rather
That's
a
the
concise album that's like full punch than an hour 15 album with a few fillers in.
It's what I was explaining to you again on the way here. Like that I only got this album 2 weeks ago Thursday. We went to go see Hazy Dixie at Broodnell and they were supporting. And I've pretty much listened to this album in between each other album I've listened to in my car. And I think that's because it is such a nice short little album. It's just, that's it's a journey's worth.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's a journey's worth. So it's
8 4-minute songs. That's probably like standard issue. What would you say standard issue album is? 40 minutes or something like that?
No, an album from my childhood would always be just too long to fit on one side of a C90.
That's a good way of gauging it.
Yeah, so
Reckon they did that on purpose?
45 minutes. The C90 is 90 minutes because you can turn it over. So you would end up with all your favourite albums were all on one side of a C90 with the last song on the beginning of the side after, or maybe you just choose a different song that you didn't like so much to
and cut it out.
put on the other side. But that's the technical way of defining an album. Just too long for one side of a C90.
So, like a 4-track. If you had something with 4 songs on, but they reached like 10-minute songs.
Yeah,
So
it
what,
could be an album.
what about the prog guys?
Yeah, the proggies.
No, that's okay. It's not number of
Forget
tracks.
about
Is
the
it?
proggies.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
the
we should record a prog
Ultrasound
album.
project was 6 songs, wasn't it? And that's definitely an
One of
album.
those was 20 minutes.
20 minutes long for one of them.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah.
good.
Yeah, and again, that wouldn't quite fit on one side of a C90, so it qualifies in that way as well.
So the Crosscut song, you think of doing it, you've both got the EP recorded, and can you tell us what songs are on that?
We've got Old, which we played you. We've got Jose,
It's like,
which is a song about Jose.
I think we've played that on the McRadio show, haven't we?
Yeah, an old
That was it.
version,
Oh, that old
which
version,
has been withdrawn.
I didn't realise we had an old version out there.
Not, yeah, it was only actually that was an
All evidence has
exclusive
been
that you got.
destroyed.
Yeah, that was an old one with TJ that we did.
Oh, right.
And then we decided to. It was good, but because TJ's no longer in the band, it's been withdrawn. We have a new version with Paddy, which is
That'll turn up on the B-Sides album then in about 20 years.
the best of.
Yeah,
Rare and unissued. Rare and unissued.
We'll sell it when it's watching. I've got it saved somewhere.
Find it in your local charity shop.
So that's one of our more recent songs, which is about wealth inequality.
In Paraguay.
In Paraguay. Well, Jose, I don't even know his second name. It's terrible.
Begins with M.
M.
No, I can't pronounce it.
Meh. But yeah, he was the president, was he?
Yes.
Of Uruguay.
Yes.
And
Did I say Paraguay?
Paraguay, Uruguay,
I think it was Uruguay.
I think it's Uruguay.
Had a long weekend.
See how much research we do. But anyway, he just didn't take all of it for all of his wage for being a president. He would distribute it among his people. Obviously, didn't go far, but that was the point. And his whole thing, there's a fabulous little interview with him on the internet somewhere where he's got an old tractor and he's like, I love this tractor. I think it's ridiculous. The world is just really messed up because everybody's sort of hoarding wealth and all of that. And so that's what that's about. So we're gonna try and get that out. We've got to mix it, but we're gonna try and get that out sometime in the next couple of weeks before this election. Just for the lend a bit of support for redistribution of wealth.
Quite topical.
Yeah. Because that's fundamentally what it's about, isn't it, this whole election?
Yep.
Do you believe that rich people should be stupidly rich and the rest of us should die and starve? Or should it be a little bit fairer than that? And so that's the second song. Third song is... Well, we don't know what order we're doing. We've got Milton.
Yeah, Milton.
Milton. Have we heard Milton?
I'm not sure you have.
think you
heard
have.
Milton,
Oh, no, did we play it at the live recording?
Yeah, no.
I don't think we
no,
did,
we
we?
decided we weren't good enough at it.
No.
Because there's Neighbourhoods, another one of the new ones, isn't there?
Neighbourhood is
that
on
one.
it. Yeah, that's been around for a while.
Yeah, I think it's just Neighbourhood and Jose are the two newest ones of yours that
Yeah.
we've heard at gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Milton we haven't really played out much.
No.
It's,
That was the last one we recorded, wasn't it?
yeah.
And what's that one?
So, obviously, you were saying that the last practice you did was it's obviously when you joined.
Yeah, that was it.
But when it comes to writing your new material, when you've got some new material ready to go, how
does that
what's the
happen?
process in terms of
We turn up at a gig and just play it.
We do a bit of
the
that.
best?
And
We have a bit of a run through, maybe.
when we're recording one song, we'll practice another one as well, won't we? So we'll play through something, make a demo recording of that,
Work off.
and then try and get a take of what we're really come to do. And then the next time, hopefully that one will be moved on enough that you can...
Try and work with it.
It's always good to take it out live and get it bedded in,
Yeah.
because that's when you know how it's going to sound.
It's such a big thing.
How
isn't
people
it?
are going to react.
Yeah. It's such a weird good thing that, isn't it? How much you can practice a song in the studio.
Yeah.
It never feels right until you've done it live a few times, and then you get used to seeing how it works in a live environment.
That's it.
Well, that feedback, like we were talking about before, is critical, isn't it? To the writing process as well as the performing thing.
Again, it's how you're assessing it as well, I guess. So if you've written a new song and you've practiced it a lot and then you play it live, you don't necessarily judge the merit of the song on the audience reaction, do you?
I suppose it's kind of the vibe that you get from it whilst you're playing it as well. You can play it, or you can try play it to your heart's content in a practice, but you I suppose it swings and roundabouts back to the audience participation or the audience's reaction to it. So I suppose that's kind of pretty void at that point. Forget that.
The audience write the song as well, don't they? Because you perform it for them, and the bits where they're look confused, then you have to try and
That's it.
Unless that's what you're going for.
yeah.
which something we go for quite a lot.
Something you're forced into.
Good job.
The mixture between confusion and terror in people's eyes.
Fear and confusion.
What's going on here?
Hashtag fear and confusion.
Confusion. But I guess as well, you could, if the gig's going well and the crowd are really digging all your stuff, and then you do a new tune and everyone's like, oh jeez, then you act like, maybe there's a bit more work. But I feel like, you know, you don't, because your audience is so different night on night, and that's a subjective thing. You're not necessarily. I think that's something you learn the more you do gig, don't you? It's like you're not criticising yourself on the audience reaction, because there's 100 reasons why the audience might not have responded in the way you want.
Oh, it's the demoralising, like 11:15 exodus for public transport.
Oh, that last song must have been terrible. Everyone's just like,
And, you know, if you're not careful, when you do these gigs where like 11:45, everybody leaves, and that's usually the same sort of point in the set, then you can end up with a song that you started playing and you're like, everybody leaves when they're playing this song. What is it about it? And, it can really swing your opinion of something just because that happens to be the song that you play when people. And it might be that it's slightly less exciting. You're taking that sort of breathing point, and that's the point where everybody goes, "Oh, I better go because I've got to get my bus." And
how many? What's the Crosscut Sauce set list procedure like? Do you have?
Every gig we make a point of writing out 4 copies. Really clearly, don't we? And
dates and everything.
Dates, we date it. We all sign
Keys.
each copy.
What key you playing in?
Keys,
Laminate.
Tempos. Laminate.
Yeah.
And
Similar to ours, by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
We've got a whole department for set lists.
The whole
And the office at HQ.
yeah.
Julie, she's called, so it's in set list. Julie from set list.
She sorts out the wages as well. Well,
No,
never get paid.
How it really works is when we get a new member in the band, then we make them write their own set list.
Yeah.
Of the songs they used to play.
That's right, yeah.
Everyone's got their own individual set list, and so you play your part from this song, and they're not for the same set list.
No.
I'm going to play Swamp Thing now, but I'm going to play on my knees.
Yeah, and quite often that happens.
That's how they make the new songs.
That's how Trap Mask Replica was written.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the mystery of Trap Mask Replica.
Live album.
There's actually lots of different songs played at the same time.
Borrow from different places, including your own set.
Because what I was thinking of getting into that area was how many Crosscut Sauce songs that you can do that you don't do.
No, we're actually pretty bad for that, aren't we? New material. We've got kind of the amount of songs that we can play that does a gig, and there may be 1 or 2 extras that kind of come and go. But we basically play the same thing every night.
But there's things like so much that's on your In Debt You Bet album, like say Smell a Rat. Like if somebody requested that at a gig next week, would you give it a go, or would you?
Tell them
We need to have a rehearsal, I think.
You just do a rehearsal.
Yeah.
pre-gig. So as long as you tell us what songs you want to hear.
Yeah, it depends.
For next time.
It depends when it fell out of use, as it were. So, Smell a Rat hasn't been played for a while. So,
You know what we're requesting next time.
but I'm up for bringing Smell a Rat back in. I was loving Smell a Rat. Playing that's fantastic.
We tried it when I first joined, and then it wasn't coming together in that short space of time. So
Well,
we
yeah,
shelved
one
it.
rehearsal.
No, it was the old Paul DeLay tune.
Bottom line.
That should go.
Yeah, bottom line. You know that one?
Bottom line.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Girls like you, I can't even remember how it goes.
But you've got that.
No, it's
that's
Paul
kind of
DeLay.
finished, and
Yeah.
you've played that many times, haven't you? So
Yeah, I bet it'll come flooding back. And so there are things that we've done in the past, and in fact, like Milton, that's going on the new CD. That's we wrote that some time ago and recorded it some time ago, like 10 years ago, and used to play it, then stopped playing it, and the recording didn't go quite right on it, and that confused us. So
it's developed into like a two-way narrative.
Yeah.
Alex and myself, which is quite
The double header vocal.
Sounds good.
That's going to be interesting too. I'm afraid I can't read that at all, Elliot. we were trying to do some subtle communication, and my eyesight's quite poor.
Is it time for a video?
I don't know. Are we doing it out of time, Wes?
No, I saw a definite shake of the head.
Oh, we've got a bit of time.
Not time for a video.
No, we've got a note coming
Hang
down.
on.
Because that's the thing I was
Message
thinking
from
about.
above.
Don't scratch the mic.
Oh, that's me. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. Sorry.
Oh, is
Tell
it?
him off.
Yeah, you should have just shouted down. Just told him to
Is it,
shut the hell up.
is it a beard scratch? Or is
No, it's me going.
Oh, right.
That's me. Sorry.
Damn it, cake.
Don't
I'll just
touch
set my
the mic.
hands.
We have to start again now.
You can't spoil things with a bass solo. You find a different way.
I'll always find a way.
Because that's what I was getting on with, the way you assess your own songs and stuff like that. So like, we've got loads of stuff that we don't play very often, but lots of the songs that I really like. And I always feel like I don't know why we don't like some of our own stuff.
I think
I mean, songs come in and out of rotation.
Yeah.
Like, so we go through a phase where we really like playing a certain song. But there's things like Rust, that's the second album. I really like Rust. I really like playing it, but we rarely ever do it live. And every now and then I'll remember it, like, we should start doing that again.
Yeah.
And we might do it once, and then again we won't do it for ages.
Right.
And it's like,
I forgot about that. So.
yeah, that's it. And cats in the bag. So some of
You
these,
get into habits, don't you? And I think certainly for me, when new people join the band, always there's a couple of songs where you just like that one rehearsal that you get to train the new band member. Then you get to a song like Smell a Rat, and you're like, oh no, the push is on the.
Yeah.
There's a push in it that's
like-
very particular, and the
Yeah.
bass has to do it. So
I don't know what you're talking
during
about.
that rehearsal, because you
I've been playing indie music for 10 years.
no idea what's going on, and it's one of those things where you're like, right, well, next rehearsal we'll get it in, and then the next rehearsal is Paddy
Yeah. Some years
joining
later.
the band. And I don't know, what have we dropped for Paddy? What haven't we played? Because I don't think there is
I
anything.
don't know.
No, I think it's most of it, I think. Well, as far as I know.
Yeah, we've forced you to learn everything.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fairly malleable guy.
In my 2-hour window that I got.
Yeah.
Now you're ready.
The most intense 2 hours of your life.
Yeah, well, the second most, because the most intense one is after that rehearsal when you go to the gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First gig. That's pretty good. I always enjoy that.
Was there how many members of the 20 years have you had? Would you, if you can remember that far?
There's been a lot of great players in Crosscut Saw. We've had, I think it's mostly bass players, because originally we started out and there was Rob and on guitar, so we started the band with Rob, who's still a good friend, and he lasted about 10 years and then smashed his guitar up on stage in the Grove.
Quite a nice guitar as well, I believe.
No, it was a crappy guitar. Deserved it, yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, he bought that guitar when he joined the band. When we
Was it an
formed the
Epiphone?
band, it was an Epiphone Sheraton. Yeah.
Sheraton. Was it an
It
old
was one of
one?
the ones with the bendy neck.
Oh, right, well.
Yeah.
did Rob cross over with you at all?
No,
I don't think he did, because I think...
but you were in a band
I
with
played
him
in a
at one
band with Rob.
Oh, a separate
A
band.
separate band.
yeah, the Heavens.
The Heavens, yeah.
So I think when I first saw you, I think it was before, might have been before you joined, I think it was a different bass player when I
Yeah.
first saw you.
Was Rob in it then?
I don't think so.
Oh, right.
It will have been Richard Green
Yeah,
on
Richard,
bass.
Yeah, which Green.
And I was in
But the-
the Heavens with Richard Green, and when he left the Heavens to reform Ultrasound,
He also
took
left
his-
Crosscut Saw.
Yeah, so I took his place in Crosscut as well. It's very complicated. I'll draw a diagram.
The family tree.
It is.
The Crosscut Saw family tree.
Yeah.
So we've had a fair few bass players. Rob, who now does Captain Wilberforce, he's a guitar player for Captain Wilberforce.
Yeah.
It's well worth checking out. They've got a new album out. It's really good.
I can't imagine Crosscut Saw with 2 guitars.
No, I know. Well, I mean, it was really one of the great things. Rob's a great guitar player, so like one of the good things about that lineup was that he was very sympathetic to what I was doing, and I tried to be sympathetic to what he was doing. Obviously not. He got frustrated and smashed his guitar.
You never let me play, Alex.
Obviously, it didn't work that well.
Yeah. But that 2 guitar thing when Rob left, I was like, there's not going to be another guitar player in Crosscut Saw. That would have to be someone particularly sort of who I really want to be in a band with, you know, and that's sort of the way that it works with Crosscut Saw. I mean, we don't get people into Crosscut Saw just because, TJ's left, we need a harmonica player. I was like, right, TJ's leaving, we'll do trio until the time is right for us. Somebody else comes along and joins the band. And
Natural selection.
Natural selection.
yeah, no, but you have to, and I always think as well with Crosscut Saw, and really every music project I think that I'm involved in, I want it to be that people are there because they want to be there and want to do it. And when people, when you've got someone in your band who doesn't want to be in your band, that's awful. It's just horrible. So I'd rather they left and you find someone else, and I won't have them leave on a, I don't think there's many people who've left Crosscut Saw on a sort of sour note. It's always been like, I really like it, but well, that's what they tell me anyway.
Just being polite.
Yeah, I mean, we break people. not in a good way. Yeah,
we break people. Crosscut Saw.
one of the great bass players of Tim Crawley. We took him on tour to Holland
and broke his arms.
And broke it. He was like, I was gonna have to leave the band. Didn't like, so he was like being at home, and it just wasn't quite. That's fine. One of those people who doesn't like travelling. We had a great time with him. Really, really enjoyed. And I think he enjoyed coming with us on tour, but at the same time he was just like, it's too much. That's not what I want to do, It's fine. And that's when we got Richard Green back in for the second time.
And after Richard, it was Jim.
Yeah.
Would you ever, have you ever considered expanding Crosscut Saw with another instrument? And if so, what would it be?
Maybe horns.
It's the right place. Well, we did have the haggis horns played for Crosscut Saw a couple of times.
Tell me about that.
That was pretty awesome. That was an amazing lineup we had at that point. I know we had Joe Tatton on keyboards, who now does the new Master Sounds. So they've all moved to America, and that's what they do over there. Joe Tatton's like building his career as a fantastic sort of jazz pianist. He's amazing. Yeah, really great. And the haggis horns, and we've had Hugh Bradley, one of the finest bass players on earth. He can, as you well know, he's doing
He's playing bass for the Revelator band.
Revelator band.
Who were on our last podcast. Hugh didn't make it then, did it?
No. So we've had some really great players. Richard and I are the only sort of consistent people throughout. Rich went off for a couple of years to Australia as well, a year or something. We got various other people in. So, but yeah, it's been good. Lots of different people.
Keeps going.
It's the dynamic of it. I mean, I always find it impressive when there's bands that have been together that long with consistent members. Because I mean, it's such a hard part of it. I know so many really good musicians who just can't get a band together.
Just keep a band together.
Because it's such a complex thing. If there's so many different issues involved, outside of just the music playing, like how much time you've got and how much commitment you want to give to it, and having similar influences, and the same levels of insanity.
The two really important things I think for me that strike me as the only way I've managed to keep the band together. Well, there's three, in fact, if I think about it. If anybody wants to leave, that's fine. If you're not happy, don't worry about it. It's all right. There's no hard feelings. I don't want people to feel upset.
Blind Emmett Jones runs a different ship.
Yes. Well, I can see that you're obviously a steel rod.
That's right. Never leave.
That means if you leave, you get your legs broken.
Till death.
Twice.
The only way you leave is by being flayed alive. And I've forgotten what I was going to say. Being straight with money.
Straight money.
That's very important. Just don't pretend.
We only got paid 30 quid for this gig.
Yeah.
boys. Sorry about that.
Here you go, boys. £10 each. That's it. You know. I've seen lots of bands fall apart because one person thinks it's their band, and you know, Crosscut sort of like, sure, I sing and stand at the front and shout at people and stuff, but it's just a band. It's like a group of people. Just the fact that that's how music works for me. It has to be everyone who's on stage is equal, and drive everyone around and pick them up and drop them off, and that's the third thing that I remembered. Have a van. It's the only way to keep a band together. Just go and get people out of bed, take them to the gig, put them on stage.
I got forced to learn that quite early on, didn't I?
Picks role in the band, primarily driver.
So if you want the band to stay together, those are the ingredients.
Yeah.
And don't be a dick.
That's a good rule for life. Hashtag.
Yeah. Hashtag don't be a dick.
Yeah. Sometimes I mean, we've told this before about why you do it, and especially so consistently. And like sometimes when you like traveling for really far away gigs and stuff like that, and you just think like, this is crazy. But then it's like when you do the gig, it's always, because I mean, we were talking about one time, we were saying that's the reason we do it, was because you get to do the gig, especially when you get a good gig, and it's just such a good feeling when everything goes well, and it's like,
It's true.
so it's worth going through all the hassle and all the gigs where it doesn't go well, because when you get the ones that are good, it's like, yes.
And it's actually not even the gig, it's the driving home in the van after the gig when it went really well, where you're all just like buzzing and glowing, and there's that kind of halo of, ooh,
That was
what
good,
an
wasn't it?
amazing experience. The post-orgasmic glow, I suppose. It's, like that's the thing, and it is, you know, like, obviously we're all grown up, some of us have transport and stuff now, so coming to gigs separately and that you learn to adapt. But I think a really big thing about a band is when you do those gigs where you have to travel and you do spend that time in the van together, and you spend that time, you've all seen each other at your low points, and you've seen each other, you know, and you've been astonished by the strength that you each can display at times when you weren't expecting it, and those things are the things that make a band, I think. So.
Yeah.
Camaraderie.
Yes,
Exactly.
like a team, platoon.
Go team.
Nobody gets left behind. Unless you're late, in which case you get left behind.
Oh, if you're crap, you get out of the band.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Just stop trying.
Leave no man behind as long as he's good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, nice enough guy. But yeah, that's what I always think that, you know, it's the same with sports teams. When my dad explained this to me about, you know, when, you know, it's when sports teams can buy loads of really expensive players who aren't really good, and they're not a very good team. But then there might be a team like Leeds Rhinos, for a great example of that, where they had such a team that had been together a long time and come through the academies together.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't as like individual big names, but it was just a really compact team that worked together. And the same as with a band, like, you know, that 4 average musicians who play together really well is better than 4 amazing virtuosos who don't know how to play it as one.
Right.
And there are some bands that are really great bands. You know, you think of some bands that are really amazing, and there's one person in them who just isn't very good at playing music. And it's all right, they get by, but what they do with the whole other thing, they're the person who makes sure everybody's there on time, and they might write the songs, or whatever it is. But there's somebody who just doesn't apparently pull their weight, but somehow that band wouldn't be the same without them, and it wouldn't work. And that you know, was it somebody was? Remember that being said about something? It was like one of those jazz bands, Dave Clark 5 or something. Dave Clark wasn't really very good, but it was just, I don't know if it was Dave Clark 5. But there are bands like that where the band leader is not necessarily a great musician, but happens to be really good at putting people together. John Mayall, I feel like that. I'm not a fan of John Mayall, but wow, some bands there. And
Nick Cave said that as well. He said that when he was first elected to be the singer of his band, it wasn't that he could sing or was very good musically, but they just thought he was the one who'd be the front man because he was like the personality in that sense. And then he worked out the rest of it as he went. I guess.
Yeah, and learning to sing. Well, I mean, I sing in Crosscut Sword because we couldn't find a singer.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to work out how to sing so that people didn't cry and leave the room. I'm still not sure I get it, but it's like those things you're forced down that route, aren't you? And that's what makes it what it is, and
it's like you learn by doing a lot of it as well, don't you? You get out and get stuck in.
Don't you?
You've got no choice. Well, you either learn to sing, or we don't have a band.
Or you keep shouting and growling at people.
Hands up if you're blagging.
I think we're almost out of time.
Are we?
Yeah.
Blimey.
It flies by, doesn't it?
A few biscuits left.
Let's do a few biscuits left over there.
Yeah, you just happen to be
There's
on
even
one.
a Reese's cup left.
I think I'll go for
We have our last video.
We'll finish on one last video, but thank you very much for coming on.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
crosscutsar.co.uk.
Yes.
Google it. This is our hashtag for the show.
Yes,
People
hashtag
Google it.
Google it.
Hashtag Google it. Crosscutsar.
Facebook is probably where we're most active. You're most likely to find out about recent things or things that are in the near future. We've got stuff coming up, so we're going to Colne and Maryport, and where's our next gig? Sheffield this Friday.
The Hallamshire House.
Armchair House, Sheffield.
Saturday, isn't it?
Saturday the 27th,
Saturday.
wasn't it?
I think it's
Yeah.
Saturday.
Saturday, cool.
That's right.
And that's great. Honeybee Blues Club. Go and check out every gig they do because they're
Brilliant.
awesome people.
Yeah. Then the week after you beat the Duck and Drake, won't you? The first Saturday.
First
of every month.
Saturday of every month we're at the Duck and Drake, so yeah, everybody should come down to that because
great gig.
we're going to start recording it. So what we want is for everyone to come down and shout, "Paddy Wells, Paddy Wells!"
Blind Edward Jones.
There's that.
Which song should we play last?
I think we should. Snake Drive, yeah. Which is
We always finish
at
on
the Duck
Snake
and
Drive.
Drake, and we this was the one we recorded it in the studio. It was a one-take job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything just
At the
fell
end
into
of,
place on this, and
Yeah.
but the film was from the Duck and Drake about 2 years before we recorded the actual record, and the film had been sat around. And we were just like,
Put it together now.
mash it up.
Excellent. Have you got that one, Elliot? Snake Drive?
It's there. Yeah, it's ready to go.
Great stuff. Well, yeah, thank you very much. Crosscut Sar, ladies and gentlemen.
Been a
This is
pleasure.
leave on Snake Drive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sirs.
Thanks for having us.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The devil, well, he won't get me. And the devil, well, he won't get me. don't get me.